So today, we have two hotheads going head to head. Raphael versus Red Hood. Who wins? Let's find out. So, Raphael, or Raph, is the biggest and most violent member and brother of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Just like his brothers, he is superhuman, but due to his temper and slightly bigger size, he's actually a little stronger and tougher than his brothers. He's strong enough to easily lift people over his head with one arm and throw them a great distance or through walls, knock out a stone soldier with one punch, and to throw a throwing star with enough force to pierce Rocksteady and Bebop, who are bulletproof. He's durable enough to survive bullets, lasers, and point blank explosions, tremendous falls, as well as being sent into and through walls unfazed. His shell helps out a lot as it is bulletproof, completely bulletproof. And he's fast enough to consistently dodge bullets and laser fire, even whole barrages of laser fire. He's a master of ninjutsu, and he's a skilled brawler and straight fighter, as well as a brutal fighter. He's also a master with his two sais. He has easily beaten groups of thugs, robots, and Foot Clan ninjas single-handedly, and he's held his own or beaten Bebop, Rocksteady, and his brothers as well. Although he's quite impatient, he is a master of stealth. And finally, he also carries throwing stars, which he has great accuracy with as well. But in the other corner, we have Red Hood. Jason Todd was Batman's second Robin before he was brutally murdered by the Joker. When he was resurrected, he was angered when he found out Batman did nothing to avenge his death and wanted revenge and took up the mantle as the Red Hood. He later returned to the Bat family just under his own terms and as an anti-hero. He was a skilled combatant as Robin, but when he was resurrected, he traveled the globe to master as many martial arts styles as he could, like Batman did, just more brutal styles. His fighting style focuses on brutality, strength, and speed. He's a master of Aikido, Capoeira, Salat, Karate, Ninjutsu, Savate, Krav Maga, Muay Thai, and Taekwondo. His helmet has a built-in radio transmitter, night vision lenses, and it's nearly bulletproof. He carries these two handguns that he usually dual wields, and he claims are the two most powerful guns in the world. He also carries knives and explosives as well. He's an expert marksman, tactician, acrobat, and detective. And finally, he's in peak physical conditioning as well. So, who is stronger? Well, it's gotta be Raph, simply because he's a mutated turtle with years of extensive training, making him superhuman, while Jason is just peak human. He's even the strongest one out of his brothers because of his rage and temper and brutality. Like, he's casually bent metal, pierced and sliced through metal with his size, easily thrown foes with one hand, held foes with one hand over his head, thrown foes through walls pretty easily, knocked out a stone soldier with one hit, tore apart large metal robots with his bare hands, and he's thrown his throwing stars with enough force to pierce Bebop and Rocksteady, who are bulletproof. But Red Hood isn't far behind at all. He's casually broken bones, flipped over Bane on his head, sent Deathstroke and Tim Drake flying with kicks, punches through an underwater submarine hull, and kicks off an airplane door while it was flying. But what about durability? Well, Raph has routinely, and I mean routinely, gotten right back up after being sent flying into and through walls and into metal hard enough to bend it, and just fine. Is fine after tremendous falls, withstood Metalhead's laser, kept on fighting after being shot and or stabbed, and he's even kept on fighting after being hit with a Molotov, like all it did was piss him off. There's also his shell that's completely bulletproof and has even shattered a wooden baseball bat when a thug hit him over it with it. But Red Hood has withstood point blank explosions, being hit with a bazooka, being sent flying and was just fine, and he was unfazed by being hit with a flamethrower while naked. His skin is literally fireproof. His armor is also completely bulletproof. I'd say they're fairly even here. And I know there was that one time Jason somehow survived multiple nukes going off while underwater, which is just insane since he's just a human. But that's definitely an extremely high showing for him, and he's never been seen to be that durable since, so I'm not including it here. And now, speed. Jason has routinely dodged bullets even at point blank range, easily dodged lasers and rockets, speed blitzed the Iron Rule, and even Supergirl was impressed with his speed. But Ralph has easily dodged several throwing stars at once, easily grabbed and broke 2 arrows shot at him, consistently dodged bullets and lasers, even when coming from several angles, and he's even taken out whole groups of thugs and robots before they could even react. He can even turn around and block bullets and other projectiles with his shell on an instant. I'd say they're fairly even here too. Ralph might take the slight edge. So overall, Raph is physically better, which makes sense. Like I said, he's a mutated turtle. But what about fighting skill? Well, just like his brothers, Raph has been extensively trained in the art of ninjutsu all of his life by Master Splinter. Because of this, Raph has mastery over ninjutsu and with his size. But unlike his brothers, he's also a skilled street fighter and brawler, and is much more brutal and violent as well. He also likes overwhelming his foes with his fiery and uncontrollable rage and temper, striking fast and hard to put his opponents down. He's beaten groups of robot thugs and Foot Clan ninjas single-handedly. He's bested Bebop and Rocksteady. He's bested each of his brothers with and without weapons, and he's even held his own against Shredder before, and we all know how skilled he is. But with that being said, I'm going to have to give this advantage to Jason. Despite being inconsistent over the years, the guy is a master of a wide variety of martial arts, and has beaten top tier and dangerous fighters like Ra's al Ghul, Cassandra Cain, Batman, Freeze, and Talon at the same time, Bane, Deathstroke, and even Lady Shiva. Granted, some of those had some stipulations in his favor, like Deathstroke being already injured and tired before the fight, and Jason beat Lady Shiva with a technique she taught him, meaning he normally wouldn't be able to beat her. But he still showed a great deal of skill. The guy can even fight blindfolded, and his fighting style focuses on strength, speed, and brutality. And now, gear and weaponry. Ralph has his 2 sides, like I mentioned earlier, and he also has throwing stars as well, which both have been able to pierce through bulletproof surfaces before. So Red Hood's armor won't protect him as well as it normally does, if at all. But Jason has his knives, explosives, and his 2 handguns as his primary weapons. He says these are the most powerful guns in the world, and although I think he's exaggerating at least a little, they do seem to be using some sort of modified rounds, so Ralph's shell might not be as effective as it usually is either. So, who wins? Well, it would be a great and brutal fight between 2 brutal fighters and hotheads, and I could see either one winning. But just like I said in my TMNT versus Bat Family video, Jason takes the slight edge over Raph. He's not far behind physically, he is the better fighter, and he has more versatility. Red Hood is winning after a good hard fight. Like and subscribe, leave me a comment of what you think, and hit the notification bell so you can be notified of all my future videos and all that great stuff. See you on the next one. Peace!